Have you ever heard a rumor at work? A little whisper by the water cooler, a sly comment in a group chat. It seems harmless, right? Just a bit of office chatter. But what if that chatter, that one little piece of gossip, could unravel a person's entire life? Today, we're diving into a story that's more than just a cautionary tale. It's a look into the dark side of words and the devastating power they hold. This is the story of Mark, a man who had it all until a single rumor, like a poison, seeped into every corner of his world and took everything away. Mark was what you'd call a success story. He was a senior project manager at a thriving tech firm, respected by his superiors and admired by his team. He'd worked his way up from an entry-level position, driven by a passion for innovation and a solid work ethic. Outside of work, his life was just as fulfilling. He was happily married to his college sweetheart, Sarah, and they had a bright, energetic 7-year-old daughter named Lily. Their weekends were filled with park visits, family movie nights, and the kind of simple, joyful moments that build a happy life. Mark felt like he was on top of the world, balancing a demanding career with a loving family. He believed that if you worked hard and treated people right, good things would follow. He had no idea a storm was gathering, not from a market crash or a failed project, but from the desk just a few feet away from his own. The source of the storm was a colleague named Alex. On the surface, Alex was friendly, always ready with a compliment or a joke, but beneath that polished exterior was a current of envy. Alex had been at the company longer than Mark, but had been passed over for the promotion that Mark eventually got. While Alex congratulated Mark with a smile and a handshake, resentment festered. Alex watched Mark lead meetings, receive praise from the CEO, and easily command the respect of their team. Every success of Mark's felt like a personal failure to Alex. Instead of focusing on his own work, Alex's attention turned to finding a crack in Mark's seemingly perfect life. And in the modern workplace, the easiest way to create a crack is to start a rumor. It started subtly, a quiet comment to a coworker in the break room. Have you noticed how much time Mark is spending with Emily from the marketing team? They seem awfully close. The seed was planted. Emily was a new, talented junior marketer assigned to Mark's latest project. They worked closely, often staying late to meet deadlines. Their collaboration was professional, productive, and entirely innocent. But Alex's comment twisted this reality. The whisper began to travel. They're always in meetings, just the two of them. I saw them laughing together at lunch. Each retelling added a new layer of insinuation, a new coat of paint on a picture that was entirely false. Alex didn't need proof. Suggestion was enough. The gossip mill, once started, has a momentum all its own. The rumor was no longer a question. It was becoming an accepted fact in the office's undercurrent of chatter. At first, Mark didn't notice. He was too focused on the project deadline. But then he started to feel a shift in the atmosphere. Conversations would stop when he entered a room. Colleagues who were once friendly now offered curt nods. His team members seemed hesitant to approach him one-on-one, their interactions becoming stiff and formal. He tried to brush it off as stress, the pressure of the project, affecting everyone. But the feeling of isolation grew. He asked his closest work friend, David, what was going on. David hesitated, then reluctantly told him, Mark, people are talking about you and Emily. Mark was stunned. He laughed it off, thinking it was a ridiculous joke. That's insane, he said. We're just working on the new campaign. But David's serious expression told him this was no joke. The rumor had taken root. Mark decided the best course of action was to ignore it. The truth would prevail, he thought. He was a professional, and his work would speak for itself. This was a massive miscalculation. Ignoring the rumor allowed it to grow, to mutate into something more monstrous. The whispers reached the ears of management. While they had no concrete evidence, the perception of an inappropriate relationship and the resulting workplace tension were enough to cause concern. Mark was called into a meeting with HR. It wasn't an accusation, they said, but a discussion about maintaining professional boundaries and managing team dynamics. The subtext was clear. He was now on their radar, his judgment questioned. The trust he had spent years building was beginning to erode, all because of a lie. The poison of the rumor didn't stay within the office walls. It began to seep into his home. Mark was working even later hours, not just because of the project, but because the office environment had become so toxic. He felt a constant need to prove himself, to work twice as hard to counter the unspoken accusations. This meant less time at home, more missed dinners, more broken promises to Lily about reading a bedtime story. Sarah noticed the change. Mark was distant, irritable, and constantly checking his phone, a nervous energy always humming around him. She asked him what was wrong, but how could he explain it? How could he tell his wife that people at his job were whispering that he was having an affair? It felt too sordid, too ridiculous. He feared that even mentioning it would plant a seed of doubt in her mind. So he said nothing, claiming it was just work stress. His silence created a chasm between them. The final project presentation arrived. This was Mark's chance to put everything right, to deliver a flawless project and remind everyone of his value. But the team was fractured. The easy collaboration had been replaced by awkward formality. Communication was strained. The presentation was professional, but it lacked the spark, the innovative edge that Mark's projects were known for. It was good, but not great. And in his position, good wasn't good enough. A few weeks later, the promotions were announced. Mark was passed over. The official reason was that his last project didn't quite meet expectations. But Mark knew the real reason. The rumor had tainted his reputation. He was now seen as a liability, a source of drama. Alex, who had done nothing remarkable but had stayed out of the drama, received a commendation. It was a crushing blow. The professional setback sent Mark into a spiral. He became withdrawn and cynical. The joy he once took in his work was gone, replaced by a sense of betrayal. His frustration bled into his home life. He and Sarah started arguing more frequently. The trust between them, already strained by his unexplained stress and absence, was crumbling. One evening, during a particularly bad fight, Sarah, desperate for an explanation for his behavior, looked at him and asked, "Is there someone else, Mark?" The question hung in the air, the very accusation from the rumor, now spoken aloud in his own home. Mark denied it, but his exhausted, defensive reaction did little to reassure her. The seed of doubt, planted by a stranger at his office, had finally bloomed in his own marriage. It was the beginning of the end. Unable to fix the situation at work and unable to explain it at home, Mark felt trapped. The pressure became unbearable. His performance at work continued to slide until he was eventually let go during a company restructuring. Losing his job was devastating, but losing his family was unimaginable. The constant fighting and suspicion at home became too much. Sarah, believing she could no longer trust him, asked for a separation. In the span of a few months, Mark had lost his career, his reputation, his wife, and the daily joy of living with his daughter. He was living in a small apartment, searching for jobs in a field where his reputation was now tarnished. He had hit rock bottom, all because of a whisper, a lie, a piece of gossip started by a jealous colleague. Alex, on the other hand, was thriving, enjoying a position he didn't earn, his life untouched by the wreckage he had caused. This story is a harsh reminder that our words have consequences, often far greater than we can imagine. A careless comment, a shared rumor, it's not just harmless chatter. It can be a weapon that dismantles a person's career, their family, and their sense of self. It highlights the importance of integrity, of speaking truth, and of refusing to participate in the spread of falsehoods. If you ever find yourself in a situation like Mark's, don't ignore it. Address it directly and with transparency if you can. Seek support from HR, from trusted friends, or from a mentor. And if you witness gossip, don't be a passive bystander. Refuse to engage. Change the subject. The culture of a workplace is shaped by every person in it. Let's choose to build a culture of respect and truth, not one of suspicion and rumor. Mark's story is a tragedy, but it can also be a lesson for all of us. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that matters.